Hi, I'm Hazel. It's Saturday today, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I've been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week, we got news finally about the 915 release date. It's coming out November 2nd, NA, 3rd EU. So not this upcoming week's reset, but the one after that. 915 is bringing all kinds of stuff, lots of quality of life changes. We're going to be getting skippable Maw intro. There's new customizations for allied races. You'll unlock free covenant swapping after you've reached renown 80 on at least one character. There's no more conduit energy. You're going to be able to send anima to your alts or bring it to a new covenant. There's class tuning and balance changes. There's full soul cinders from spammable Torghast runs. Repeat Torghast runs will give full soul cinders. In general, it's just going to be smoother and easier to get a character caught up and set up to play the content that's available to us now. Archivist Codex is going to be faster, and in a recent PTR update, they are buffing the drop rate of soul twining crescents, which is excellent for anybody that is trying to get their conduits caught up to the level where they can even start using their Deathbound shards without feeling like they're wasting them. That'll be great. Legion Timewalking is also being added in 915, but the event itself does not start until December the 2nd, so you have some extra time to prepare for Legion Timewalking, in particular for the Legion Timewalking Mage Tower, which is coming back. Speaking of the Mage Tower, we had Timewalking Mage Tower testing this week, which means we know more details about what you might want to prepare in order to do these challenges, if that's what you want to do. To recap, the challenges are a single-player difficult encounter that is scaled down to level 45, so you can't outgear it, you gotta outplay it. Although you can outgear it a little bit, and I'll get to that in a second. If you beat the challenge, you get a transmog set for your class, and if you beat the 7 different challenges across different characters in your account, you will get the Soaring Spell Tome mount. Because of the book mount in particular, lots of people are looking at preparing different alts to do the Mage Tower challenge, so they can hopefully smash that out in one go, because the first time that Timewalking comes around, it'll be up for 2 weeks. You'll have 2 weeks in this first rotation to do that challenge if you want to. And then after that, because of how very many time-walking options there are and the fact that they rotate, Legion Timewalking will come back every 18 weeks after that. So not very often. It is going to be, I'm probably going to be doing my best to get the book mount on the first rotation, and that is going to take some soul melting, which I'm looking forward to. So what does a character need in order to try the Mage Tower challenge? You need to be at least level 45 to start it. You can, at least on the PTR, start it at 45. It's possible that they tune that up to 50. However, there's can and then there is should. I would not recommend trying to do this on a level 45 character because you will be missing this level 50 row of talents, and you're gonna want those. Even a level 50 character may be missing some important spells that character would learn between the levels of 50 and 60. Priests, for example, pick up Power Infusion at like 58, something like that, which is pretty useful to have. So use 60 characters if you have them, but they don't need to be raid geared or anything because you're not gonna be able to use all kinds of current and past borrowed power systems. Legion legendaries will not work. Shadowlands legendaries do not work. Covenant abilities don't work. Soulbind's conduits do not work, so you don't have to set it up with Shadowlands stuff, but you might want to set it up with a time-walking set. If you're new to that concept, it is gear that is specifically selected for how well it scales down when worn in time-walking content. There's a whole subgroup of people in WoW that love hunting down these items that like scale really favorably and then putting on a ton of them to just smash through time-walking dungeons. And that same kind of gear is going to work, or at least based on testing, seems like it's going to work pretty well in the Mage Tower. So one example of that, which is bad news for me because I don't have one, is the Mists of Pandaria Legendary Cloak. If you have one, you're going to want to wear it, and if you don't have one, then you won't join the club that I am in of people that don't have it, because you can't go back and get it now, so sucks to be us. You can do the challenge without the cloak, and we will, but it was doing like 10 to 12% of people's damage that were using it during testing, so that's something. Maybe they'll disable that before Mage Tower comes around, we'll see. So the thing to look for with your gear, aside from like specific trinkets that scale well, there's lists of those. I will link some Wowhead articles below of like time-walking items that are really good. And then also like items that just have a lot of sockets are quite good because those will give you more secondaries, is basically any gear that's above item level 50 or so that has really good secondaries for you, because you're going to scale down to item level 50 anyway, so item level doesn't matter. Don't try to gear for item level, but gear for your best possible secondaries, and that's going to get you pretty far. In testing, I tried the Shadow Priest challenge on my level 50 priest and my 60 priest, and even without power infusion, I was doing more damage on the 50 priest just because she has much better secondaries than my level 60 priest, apparently for Shadow Priest anyway. She had a lot more crit. So that is going to be something to consider when you're setting up a character for this. You can just go in wearing whatever you want and smush your head against it, and you will probably eventually get really good and progress it and beat it. You don't have to pay for entry or anything, although you do have to pay for repairs. I'm going to be trying to give myself any edge that I can, especially because, 7 challenges, 2 weeks, sounds like a lot of time, but these are, in my opinion, hard. They're supposed to be, and I think I'm going to do okay on like my Holy Priest and maybe Shadow Priest because I'm familiar with those ones, but heaven help me on my Ellie Shaman and Survival Hunter. I've selected those as characters and specs I'm going to use for some of these, and I don't have the first clue how to play Ellie or Survival, so that'll be good. We'll talk about this again when it actually comes out, but if I had one piece of wisdom to impart before then, it's that when you go into the Mage Tower in December, don't be too discouraged if you don't do as well as you want to right away. If you go in and you die real quick, or, maybe you die 3 times or 5 times, don't give up and don't get discouraged too early. These are hard, but you can just go in with the mindset of trying to progress through it and do just like one thing a little better each time. Like figure out what you died to and then see if you can do that one thing like a little better every single time. I spent basically all of the testing day testing different challenges, and I didn't even get close to beating any of them. And I did these before back in Legion when they were current. So they are tough. Don't expect it to just fall over, but also don't give up because you can do it. You have everything that you need. Unless you need a mop legendary cloak, but I don't have one and I'm gonna make do, so you can too. So an exciting news week. We got a patch launch. I have been doing some alt leveling this past week, and I'm gonna be doing more because I would love to get my Hunter and my Shaman. They're both like mid 50s right now, and I would love to get them to 60 before 915, and then like maybe hunt down a couple time walking pieces before December on them so that they're ready to go when that Mage Tower challenge comes back out. I think that's my next project. I'm also working on pet charms, but I'm doing so rather slowly. I'm just running missions, and that's okay. And questions for this week. Dan wants to know, will Korthia relics be worth more when you turn them in, or is it just that mobs and chests will drop more relics? I have a bunch of them taking up bag space, but if they will get redeemed for more, then I'll keep on saving them. They will not. They are still going to be the exact same amount of rep per relic. It's just that there will be more relics available throughout the whole process. So no reason, as far as I know, to hoard them, although it is very fun to deposit all at once. So I can't argue too much with saving up a bunch of them, because think of how much rep you'll get when you just dunk them all at one time, How many could you save up? Although it's murder on bag space. And Sleepy and Tired wants to know something about old starting gear being removed and replaced. Wondering if you know which ones that'll include in case people want to know to grab some for keepsakes. So it is true that the old starting armor is going to be updated. There's like new models for the armor that a character starts in at level 1 for the base classes. However, there was a blue post made this week clarifying that the old sets will be made available at a later time. It may not be right away with the patch launch, but they are coming back at some point. They're not intended to be like a super rare item that nobody can get anymore. So make characters for low level armor if you want to have it around for RP before the patch, but don't stress too much about it being gone forever, because as per this blue post, it will not be. And that's been the week. Our next news video is the last one before the 915 release. If you have any questions you would like answered, please leave them in the comments with the word question to help me find it. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.